Shot 67. Very straightforward shot. It's another title shot. So there's a lot of just like frozen frames in it. I think there's only like 21 shots we actually have to do. So I'll show you the front, or the first shot is that there. We've got that there. Here it is right there. Yeah, I think this one's going to go pretty quickly. And that's usually when they don't go quickly. So fingers crossed. I hope this one goes quickly. Here we go. Pause in, kids. Whoop-pow! One thing I've been noticing more and more as I'm working on stuff is I don't go frame by frame anymore. I'll look at what the whole entire motion is. And it's like for this one, I was following frame by frame how he was like pointing at his head, and it just looked jittery and weird. And so I was like, I'm just going to do it on my own. And then it looked a lot smoother. And I find now instead of this guy's running across the thing, I don't go, oh, where's his hand here? Where's his hand here every frame? I kind of like, oh, this frame to this frame, he's got to get from here to here. And I'm just like doing that run now. And that's really cool because it means I'm actually learning something. And that's what this whole project is about. So I was just kind of stoked to realize that today. And I figured I'd pass it along to you because you're along for the ride anyway. All right, kids, shot 68 coming from below. Wow. This one really reminds me of this amazing time. Yo, what is up? All right, I'm using the GoPro to film this, so if it looks a little different, that's why. And the reason I have that is because I had to use my phone and its flashlight capabilities. I put this little thing together, here's a little rig, in order to get those little glints on his glasses. Because before that, they were just black. And I used the silver paper, and I was like, oh, you can't even tell because nothing is reflecting off of it. They just look black. So I had to use my phone. It was the only thing that could reach with all I had. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty cool. Here, if you want to see what we've got going here. Boom, holds on to it there. Boop, boop, boop. All right, and then what we've got here is, boop, boop. It'll have the title come up. Boop, boop. So there you go. I'm pretty stoked with it. Hope you're stoked. All right, kids, going on to shot 68. Feels great. Wow. Shot 68 in the house. Okay, so here's one thing I got to show you here. See, they've got some bushes back behind them, and then it just kind of goes into blackness. And at first, I was going to just have it be all green and put some bushes in front of it, but then it looked a little too green. So I am going to have black in it too, but I've got to, I don't know if you can even see here, right there. I have to draw in some bushes to go in the back. The stuff I have is not quite, that's just like leaves and full stuff, and all the stuff I have is like trees and shrubs and things. So I'm just going to like use some black and kind of like make my own leaves on it. And I think it'll work. I hope it'll work. This seems a bit tricky. I have my own doing, and I'll tell you about that in a second. It's right here. Pa-dum! So people always say, wow, how do your leaves look so amazing? And this is all I do. And also no one has ever said that. But when I'm just filling up leaves and stuff, I just do these weird little scribbles. And these ones are kind of crappy because I'm trying to do them while talking to you and filming at the same time. But yeah, this is all I do. I was going to have this comic strip at one time called Paco and Tree. And it was me and my best friend was this little shrub tree. And I would bring him around in like a wagon. He'd be in like this little potted plant thing. Who knows? Maybe I'll turn that into a stop motion one day. But anyway, yeah, this is how I do the shrubbery in the background. Neato. Yeah, I just wanted to show you this one thing here as I'm putting the bottom layer on. It's the chief here. And one thing I did, past me hated future me, which is now present me, because I have two separate parts of his tie to move as he's running. So as he's running and his tie's moving, past me was like, you know, it's going to be awesome. It's having both of those pieces of tie move. It's going to be awesome. And it is. But come on, man. And there's even more complications to that. But I'm going to show you that in a little bit. So I've got the second layer in now, which is the rookie. And see, again, it's like, okay, cool, just the one tie there. But then if you look later, here's the other tie, and then there's the back of it too. So I've got the second part of his tie as well. But one thing I wanted you to see here. So here's the rookie there. And his legs don't really move. He just kind of skeeters in there. So it must be all shin work, I suppose. So that's how I've got him set up here. And yeah, I guess I just scoot him along and move his shins and his arm and his ties. So still a lot of work on him. But that's not even the problem I was talking about. It's coming up soon, kids. Watch out. Here we go. Shot 68. Just want to show you what we're working with. All right, so you see here that the rookie runs in front of the chief, but behind that door, which means that they all have to be on their own layer. The mistake I made was I made them all the size they are on the screen, so they have to be relatively close together. That means that I can't get my hands in there to move the chief. So what I've got to do is I've got to take off the top two layers, move the chief, put them back down, take off the top layer so I can move the rookie, then put the top layer back down and match it up exactly where it was perfectly. What I learned from this is, in the future, if there's a character that's big passing over someone that's still moving when they're little, I've got to make them smaller because they got to be closer to the camera. So, big mistake, but a big learn. All right, kids, let's get into this. Pow! Yo, just to show you what I'm kind of talking about, I figured I'd record myself doing it because, why not? So, okay, so I just took this shot here, and I've got to get down to the chief who's on the main bottom level. So I've got to pick up these two pieces of glass, bring them over here. Now I got this thing set up here. It's like a clothes hamper with a towel on it. Put it down there. Now I move the chief how he needs to be moved. There we go. So that's the chief move. So now I got to grab those two pieces of glass I just put down. Very carefully. Scoot on through. And so here now what I do is I have to match up the two pieces with that ghost door essentially after every shot. What I do is I look at all the corners and see if they look fuzzy or if they look sharp. All right. So there we go. The next shot's ready to be hammered out. So let's do it. Boom. So I have to do that essentially like 23 times. It's working out, but it's kind of a pain as you could see. Anyway, let's see how it goes. One little sneaky thing. I'm just going to show you guys a little Easter egg, as they call it. This was so you can tell your friends later on. You're like, hey man, I know something about shot 68, man. It's not what I meant to do, but anyway, let's roll with it. All right, so you got the chief here. It's at the end of the shot, a couple of frames. This hand is backwards. You see, because like he started up with it like this, and he ended it with it like this. So it's like two different hands. But I think it's kind of funny, and I don't really think anyone's going to notice. But that's like the #1 comment. I'll be like, ooh. That's interesting. I did a terrible job with the rest of the video if that's all anyone's pointing out. But anyway, just there you go. Little Easter egg for you. Just thought it was funny. All right, here we go. So this was another one working with different layers and working with a lot of little pieces and things and then drawing out all those bushes and stuff. But it goes by so quickly, but I have to say in the end, I think it looks really, really cool. Holy snappers. We got it done, kids. It was a lot of work, a lot of bending and moving these big pieces of glass around. I'm sweating. It's hot back here. But anyway, here, let's check it out. This is what we want it to look like. Whoop, grabs onto the door there like that. All right. And so then this is what we've got it looking like. Whoop, and grabs onto the door there. Here's our setup here. Everything down there. Yeah, it worked out. You can see that the car kind of dances a bit, but when the camera's moving and stuff, I don't even think you'll notice that. And yeah, I'm pretty stoked with how this turned out, especially moving things back and forth with both character and the car being replaced every time. But hey, I'm stoked. Hope you're stoked. Let's go on to shot 69. You dirty, dirty kid!